Hello and welcome to Slow Night, Ancient Tales. Tonight's piece is an essay by Lee Hyo-seok called Autumn Leaves, adapted for easy listening from the 1937 original. It's not a story with a plot so much as a quiet wandering of thought, a man raking leaves in his garden, and a memory from summer that drifts back to him. Tonight, let's simply walk through this autumn evening alongside him. The ivy that once blazed red against the window, the cherry tree that had been the first to show off autumn's colors, both had let everything fall away, leaving only bare branches behind. Late autumn, once all its beauty has passed, is a quiet and somewhat forlorn season. Nearly every day, he rakes the fallen leaves from his garden. No matter how carefully he clears them, more leaves scatter down again by the next morning. It feels like a fruitless task, and yet he keeps doing it. When he piles them up and sets them alight, they smolder from within, sending up thin trails of blue-gray smoke. In that smoke, there seems to be the rich scent of coffee, the taste of ripe hazelnuts. He breathes it in deeply, feeling a kind of quiet fullness, as though he'd wandered deep into some mountain forest. Once the leaves are burned and the ashes buried, autumn feels truly over. All that remains in the garden are bare, switch-like branches and withered weeds. It occurs to him that the dreamlike season has passed and the season of daily life has arrived. He has taken over the task of heating the bathwater every few days, something his wife once did. Feeding the fire, tending the smoke, stoking the flames, small, ordinary tasks that he once dismissed as trivial, far less worthy than reading or writing, now feel strangely like the most meaningful and creative acts of his day. Watching the fire glow in the dark hearth, watching the steam rise from the bath, he thinks, this perhaps is what living really is. As he sinks into the warm water and scoops up a last stray leaf drifting on its surface, the thought settles even deeper into him. The green season, the summer just past, had felt like a kind of mystery. Ivy climbing thick over the porch, dewdrops falling leaf to leaf with a sound like a mountain stream, a garden once bursting with roses and dahlias and touch-me-nots. Back then, the days hadn't felt like fragments of ordinary life. They had flowed together like a single continuous dream. Then, quite suddenly, he notices two rose vines still clinging to the windowsill. Looking at their thorns still standing firm despite the frost, a memory long forgotten comes rushing back. It was a hot summer morning. He had gone with his family on an outing to the hills behind their home, stopping at a small zoo along the way. There, a young man had been wandering carelessly among the animal enclosures, teasing the creatures despite the disapproving glances of everyone around him. In front of the bear's cage, he kept reaching his hand through the bars, again and again. Then, in an instant, the bear seized his hand. The young man's fingers were left bloodied, and he stood frozen, not knowing what to do. It was his wife who acted first, and calmly. She pulled out a fresh handkerchief and wrapped the young man's bleeding hand, then took a silver coin from her purse and pressed it into his other hand. He could only watch, quietly struck by how composed and graceful she had been in that moment. In the end, he walked the young man to a nearby hospital, and that was how the day ended. The image of the white handkerchief soaked in red never quite left his mind. And every autumn since, whenever the leaves began to fall, that memory would rise up again, just as vivid as before. Now autumn has fully passed. In this garden of bare earth, he finds that memory again, called back, this time, by the red thorns of the roses. It feels like autumn's final gift to him. Now the season of daily life, the season of quiet togetherness has arrived. Bathing his young child feels like a small joy. Stringing colored lights on a Christmas tree feels like something to look forward to. Even with modest means, there is a kind of abundant dream still worth imagining. And that, he thinks, is the task this season has left for him. That's all for tonight's piece. A man burning autumn leaves, quietly looking back on a season now past, and gently imagining the season of daily life ahead. Even after the brightest dreams fade, a different, quieter warmth tends to take their place. Set your own thoughts down for tonight, and let sleep carry you gently away. Have a warm night. Sleep well.